G'day and thank you for joining me again. It's Corey at C. Brandon Construction, and today we're going to show you guys how to install a lever or knob set. This one in particular is a Weiser, one of our favorite brands. They're very reliable, they seem to last a long time, and they're about mid-range in terms of pricing on the market. Other good ones, Schlag, Tamor, MTech, those are good brands as well, but today we're going to show you specifically the Weiser. So unboxing this, there are parts that you won't require. We're going to show you the ones that you will need. So there should be two sides of the lever. One is already pre-assembled to the mechanism with the screws threaded in there already for you. So you won't need to take that apart. You'll leave it as is. Then there's the other side. And then one more trim plate. Pulling out all those goodies, you'll see that there's a bunch of different parts in here. The ones that you're gonna need for what we're doing today are the latch, the little knock-in piece that fits over the end of the latch, and then your latch plate. So it's important to note that you've got the correct one for how it's mortised into the jamb. We've got round corners here. If those were chiseled out square, or we could chisel them out square, we would choose the one with the square corners, but we're gonna use this guy. So we'll go ahead and we'll actually put that on right away. We'll just force it in. And then secure it with the two screws. So back to our box of goodies here. Like I said, we're gonna use the knock-in option. Works good for interior doors. When you pop this on, you wanna make sure that this little notch lines up with the back of the latch. And you just force it on there. There's two little clips that keep that piece into position. The other options that we'll just touch on briefly, you can use these without the knock-in option. These slide on and you'd have that mortised in the end of the door here so that this would fit on. For interior doors, the knock-in option is fine. On exterior doors, when you go up to 2 3/4 inch back set, it's a good option and recommended we use these, but not for interior doors. These are all adjustable with Weiser, so you can adjust that back set from 2 3/4, 2 3/8. A good way to tell is before you get it knocked in there, is you can tell that that's 2 3/8 just by setting it up flush with the end of the door. When you pop this guy in, you want to make sure that the tapered part of the latch is facing the latch plate, and you can just insert that in there. Looking at the top, you want to make sure that this is relatively square, so it can't be cockeyed like so. You want to make sure it's nice and square. If you need to pull that out for any reason, an easy way to do that is to take the Allen key or your blade screwdriver and you can just pop that out. Our next step is going to be to put the door lever knob on. So you've just got that sitting in there. It will sit, but you're gonna wanna hold it nice and tight, and then you'll see there's only one way this can go on. And And then you can tighten up those screws. We don't want to over torque these screws. And we want to make sure that they're tightened to around the same torque spec on either side, so that this doesn't end up being all cockeyed because we have one screw over tightened and one left loose. Now we can put our little trim plate on. And then you can see here that there is a hole in the side of this lever, and that's for this set screw. So when we put this guy on, we can pull out that set screw with the provided Allen key. And it'll hold that in position. So now you're just going to want to test it. So you should be able to pull that lever down and then it automatically come back out. If it's sticking at all, you need to break this down and take a look. Maybe something's not quite square or positioned correctly. I'll shut the door and then we'll show you how to position this little tab to keep it tight to the stop. So you can tell there that it's a little loose. That's a very easy adjustment. We talked about this in the how to install the door. You want the stop left a little loose because you can't release it or move it back without having to cut the caulking and pounding it out with your hammer, which isn't really that great when you've already got everything all painted up. So you leave it a little loose, and then we can just adjust this little tab here, and that'll pull it tighter to the stop when we close it. So that's everything. It's a pretty simple process, especially if you buy a good knob or lever set. And again, we recommend Weiser. It's super easy to install and you shouldn't have any troubles in the long run. So thanks for joining us again today. Please don't forget to subscribe below. You can check us out on Facebook at Brandon Construction or online at www.cbrandonconstruction.com. Thank you.